Hi, Mama Betty. This lady over here, Kathy Pack, was the woman responsible for bringing me to GSM 20 years ago. I was very, very sick. I walked into Bettie's office. I was emotionally 4 years old. One of the things that Bettie does so well is that she listens. She listens and she listens. And then she asks the question. And then she loves you and she hugs you and she puts you on the hot seat. I got that more than once. And for those of you who are new to the ministry, I understand they don't do it anymore or not as often, and it's an experience beyond words. I am well today because of what God did through this woman. Each one of us in this room have that power, and it is past time, if you have not done so, to step up to the plate and be used of God. There is much work to be done every day. I meet people every day, and I can touch their lives and speak a word of compassion and tell them everything's going to be okay. And the reason that I can do that is because my Heavenly Father used a woman. I live in California, San Francisco area. I'm a massage therapist. I touch lives.
Hi, my name's Linnea Zednick, and along with the hot seat, I think Betty has helped us all get over early on microphone phobia. I went back to 1976 when God called me on a trip to go with Betty to Israel, and it was a profound journey. And on that journey, the Lord called me to literally surrender my family, and I think that's one of the greatest lessons I've learned, is how to surrender to God and how to answer the call and say yes. And I really, Betty and Jerry both have had profound effect in my life. I remember, I was telling Jerry earlier, just getting the foot rubs along the Red Sea. I've never been the same. Every Mother's Day, every birthday, what kids ask, what do you want? It's a foot rub. But I want to thank Betty particularly for the willingness to say yes. I look at her as Queen Esther, who said, though I perish, I perish. God's called you for this season. Her life has affected not only her families, but families all over the world. And I appreciate the life both of you guys have lived. Thank you, Betty.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm Nick Phones. Probably met Betty in about 1950 or 51. We didn't know each other. I was like 6 years old, and she was 100 and something. We both went to Fernwood and Grant High School, but like 100 years apart. The first experience I had with Good Samaritan Ministries was over on the Arctic Avenue office, and Joanne Baker counseled my wife Arliss and I. Probably saved our lives a few times. I want to present this to Betty on behalf of the veterans and public service people, if we could kind of identify them. Hope you can keep your hands up for a while. If you're a veteran, please raise your hand. If you're a veteran, if you're a veteran of public service, raise your hand. Police officer, fireman, some. If you are a family member of armed service members and firemen and police officers, raise your hands. Let's get all those hands up that were up. Keep them up. And just to give you an idea, the people who have known to lay down their lives for their friends, she has been a best friend to us. So I want to present this to Mama Betty. Presented to Betty P. Mitchell from the veterans of the U.S. military and public service and their loved ones.
It will be on every casket of our family members for all generations. Now, I have a presentation for men's group and for the veterans. And I'm the weirdest person you ever met in your whole life, because the Lord told me 15, 16, 17 years ago, form a men's group, meet with them every week. Can you imagine that? Women are told they can't be in ministry, let alone to tell men what to do. But I didn't tell them what to do. I stayed with them. And they stayed with men's group. And I have a presentation to make to men's group and to the veterans. And the reason I have this presentation is I have a son-in-law who's not here today, his name's Gary, who is a commercial artist. And this is what he gave me for my birthday, and I figured it's a perfect gift for the men's group and for the veterans. And it's called the No Bull Zone. So at every meeting, the No Bull Zone is to come out, and it'll take care of all the problems. Thank you. And thank you, men.